everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Winners Circle. Shocker, surprise here. I mean, everybody, it felt a little bit like everybody thought you and I maybe had a massive, like we weren't friends anymore.
I don't like you, personally. I'm here because they made me come.
I didn't want to say anything, but Derrick and I had a massive falling out.
We had a
fist fight. Huge fight. Yeah, it got really out of control.
Cody threw me in a lake.
Called. You know, I still don't walk the same because my right leg is messed up. But listen, we put our differences aside for all of you
Optics.
to come on here together. Listen, a lot of people were talking. I'm super happy that you're here, brother. Listen, we both have lives. I talked about it earlier, even for this season, recording this, it's really tough. Derrick has a crazy, crazy schedule. There was nothing that went on other than this is a really difficult, it's very time consuming. It's very taxing to put all this together, to keep up on an episode, a show that is on 3 nights a week, then get on here, record. Listen, if I wish that I didn't have to have a job and this was paying me and I would just be able to do this all day long and we didn't have to supplement it other ways, right?
Right.
It's just not the case. So,
no.
Derrick, I am so happy that you're here, bro. It feels like I feel like a kid again. Like I was excited for this. I was excited for this. So what's going on, bro? And also we're going to hear a little bit inside of what's going on, Mr. Bigwig, Mr. TV host.
Listen, I've been lurking in those I've been lurking in those walls, getting all the inside scoop. I've been pushing producers, trying to find out what's going on. But yeah, no, just to piggyback on what you said, it's exactly the way it looks. We do this show, or we were doing the show together because it's fun. We wanted an opportunity, but more of an excuse to just hang out and talk Big Brother. And to your guys' point, and you know, some of the people in the comments, I'm doing 3 shows. I was doing Winners Circle, Crime Weekly, and Detective Perspective, and whatever TV show I was doing at the time, plus the coffee company, plus the PI firm. And you guys may not know this, but we were editing our own ads and our own episodes. It is, if anybody's ever done a podcast, you know how much work it is. So Cody was taking on a lot of those responsibilities anyways, but we were trying to get in here, trying to keep up with the feeds, trying to keep up with the live episodes. And personally, I just felt like I wasn't able to give it even like 70%. And that's not who I am. And I felt like I was essentially phoning it in. And some of you were calling me out on it. So it was just something where I was like, Cody, you'd be better off just doing it on your own, because that way you can give your own angle and I don't sound like a fool when I'm saying things that are 2 weeks ago. So I love doing the show with you. Out of the 3 shows I do, it's the most fun because it's the only one where I'm not talking about doom and gloom all the time. Right. And now with Big Brother Unlocked, CBS is paying me. So your boy's watching the feeds. It's amazing how much time you have when that check comes out, right? First it's like, you know, I don't have the time to do it. And then all of a sudden CBS comes along, they back up the truck, and all of a sudden I'm a live feeder again. So I'm excited, dude. We talk all the time, contrary to what people might believe. And I basically said to you, yo, I'm going to come on. When's your next episode?
Yeah, straight up.
I invited myself.
Like, I mean, there's no invite that's needed. But yeah, it's funny how when you do stuff like this and people are watching you. And honestly, the thing is, it was a compliment because people love us together. And
I love us together.
I know it's
great.
The best, man.
We kind of do pretty well together.
We're the best duo of all time.
I mean,
so
2 winners, no big deal.
It's really not that big of a deal. I mean, listen, I'll gas myself up, and our alliance is just the greatest of all time. But it is a lot of fun to get on here, but it is very taxing. And I will say, like, I've received DMs about people that are willing to help, and I really appreciate that. And I may be taking somebody up on that because
you should. I do that too.
Right. It's a big thing. Like, you know, just full transparency. Like, I just got home maybe like an hour ago before we started recording this. I've been in hospitals all day, and it's just, it's a lot.
It is.
And I still got to watch the episodes.
People don't realize how hard the editing is.
Yeah. And so
go through it, chop it up.
We put a lot in, but I mean, listen, at the end of the day, bro, you got a primetime spot.
Yes.
On CBS.
Mm-hmm.
Every other Friday.
Friday nights, 8 o'clock, no big deal.
Are you going to, like, I mean, hey, listen, the possibilities are endless. You could end up, I mean, I don't know if we can talk about something else that you did, because I don't know if it's like, if it's out there yet, like that other show that you were doing.
America's Most Wanted?
Yeah, where you were like, You were on it. Has that come out yet?
So the first season already came out. Thanks for being a good friend and watching it. All the episodes already came out.
I didn't hear what you said because Christy was calling
That's okay.
me. So
yeah, the episodes already came out. It's been a whole first season already aired, but thanks for support. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It was on Monday nights on Fox. No big deal. We did 8 episodes.
Wait a minute. Time out. I knew that because I would see your post about it.
Yeah, you knew that. So
But
yes,
listen,
yes,
I
we can
didn't know
talk
it came
about
out.
it. It's been on TV for a while. We're hoping for season 2 though. Maybe you can watch then.
Listen, bro, I'm not a crime junkie. Like this stuff doesn't
true.
like scratch my itch. Like if you went on like Love Island, I'm watching every episode.
Hey, listen, man. Like I said, if the truck comes back with the money and it's and the check cashes, I'll be out there in my swim shorts with my pale ass body. I'll be out there. But no, I mean, listen, America's Most Wanted was a lot of fun. It was a dream working with John Walsh and Callahan Walsh, and I mean that show's been on for 20 years. We did season 1. We're waiting to see if season 2 comes back. But and we've talked about this off record. I really like the podcast because I own the shows and we get to do our own thing. I'm not anybody's employee. They're not shipping me all over the place. I'm not constricted to what they want me to say. Although America's Most Wanted was pretty good. I got to give my own analysis, but I have my 2 shows here. I'm working on a 3rd show. That's going to be more of an interview style show. And now I'm doing Big Brother Unlocked. And Big Brother Unlocked, part of the reason why I agreed to do it is it wasn't every week and it's only for the summer. Because as of right now, every other week, I fly out on a Wednesday, film on a Thursday, and then take the red eye out back home Friday so I can work here in Rhode Island.
It's
Couldn't
so
do it
hard
long
west
term.
to east. West to east is like
the worst.
And you lose it because even on a red eye, you're taking that flight. You're not really sleeping on a flight, and then you're starting your day. It's just it ultimately makes Friday just really rough.
It's brutal. And I will give a shout out to Chelsea and Taylor because this last episode that we did, we ran a little late. So we got done around 11:30 and I didn't make my red eye flight at 12:30. So I'm sitting in the parking lot, literally right outside Studio 18. Like I could touch the Big Brother house. And I'm sitting there kind of like not knowing what I'm going to do with myself. And Taylor rides by on a golf cart. She's going to her green room or her dressing room. And she's like, hey, we're going to go watch a movie. Do you want to go? It's like right near the airport. And I was like, yeah, if you don't mind, I'll go. So I tagged along with her, Chelsea, Kylan. We went and saw Fantastic Four.
Oh, nice.
And I fell asleep in the movie. So Chelsea, as a good friend, decided to film me while I was sleeping, which is just awesome all the time. Yeah, that's great. But it was great. I kind of saw half the movie. The part that I saw it was good. Woke up from that nap. My luggage was in Taylor's car and drove to the airport 30 minutes away for a 5:30 flight. So not good for the body.
Not good for the body at all.
No.
But listen, hey, you got a nap. So we're not going to do a breakdown of Fantastic Four because you maybe missed a good chunk of it. But
have you seen it?
No, I have not. I don't go to the movies.
Oh, it's great.
I don't go to the movies.
Great movie. Strongly recommend.
I haven't even watched Happy Gilmore 2. That's on the docket. Like
That's
I'm dying to watch
egregious.
Happy Gilmore 2. Really bad?
No, it's great. It's nostalgic.
Great.
It's not like a good movie. It's just a lot of throwbacks. But the fact that you haven't watched it yet when it's free.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
That's crazy. You are busy.
Well, I think it wasn't even that. Like I told my one buddy that he's got like a movie theater in his house. He was like, "Oh, we're gonna do a movie theater. We're gonna do like a whole night. You know, we'll come over there. My sister, her husband, the kids will come over, and we'll do that." So I'm kind of holding off for that. So shout out to my boy Travis.
Shout out Travis.
So we're still. I would watch it, but I stay loyal. I told you I wasn't gonna watch it, so I'm gonna watch it.
It's more if you liked Happy Gilmore, then you'll like this. But if you're looking for like this movie that's gonna be like thought provoking, it's not that. It's just a lot of throwbacks. Yeah. It's cool though.
A
lot of cameos.
When I looked at it, I was like, this isn't going to be a movie that was like the first one where there's like this cool storyline and it's like really uplifting. I was like, it's going to be a movie with a bunch of A-listers that like pop. Much like, like it's going to be a movie with a bunch of A-listers.
The villain's
that, like,
horrible. I don't even know his name, but yes, the a lot of the pop-ups and the cameos and all that stuff is pretty cool. And Adam Sandler, he does his thing.
Yeah. All right. So why don't we do this? Let's get into the recap for the week.
Do it.
We're going to do it. We're going to run it like we would be running the show anyway. Mm-hmm. And then I want to see how you feel about your fantasy team because I have all the fantasy teams written down here. I got to tell you, like when we spoke last week, you were like, "Oh, I don't know how I feel about my fantasy team." I like your fantasy team.
It's looking a little better now, but it's still not great.
I
Because
think
it's only
I think
who
you
wins.
can be okay.
It's not like a fantasy league where you get points for comp wins, because if that was the case, I'd be running away with it right now with Kelly. But it's only who wins. So they did it really simple. Who's going to pick
I
the
don't like
winner?
that.
That's it.
I don't
So,
like that at all.
Yeah, so it's like you could have a
It
great
should
team.
be finish. Where people finish should be a factor.
Nope, nothing. It's who
Like-
ends up winning. So you
Yeah,
only need
I
one
don't like
pick,
that.
which if you go off that premise, I'm not looking too great.
Yeah, I actually now that you mentioned that, I take back what
There's
I said.
one winner on my list, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, like Keanu's definitely not.
Nope.
I mean, Jimmy or Mickey could.
Jimmy's a tough one, but Mickey's my only one where I think I got a shot.
Yeah, I don't think
Kelly's not
I don't
winning
think
it.
Riley and
Riley
Kelly's
ain't
not.
winning it. So
Kelly's put herself on the block.
But we'll see. Things
Multiple
change in the
times.
game, which we're going to talk about today, because I know we're going to recap the episode and then maybe talk a little bit about the feeds. And things can change in a second, as we found out over the last 24 hours.
You're going to be the feed expert.
I am your fucking feed expert, dude.
I want to shout out Big Brother Daily. That's where I look. I read Big Brother
best.
Daily. Last season, Big Brother Daily kind of took like a break, and this season they're back and are really great and up on the feeds. But I get caught. I scroll and I'm like, oh man, I got to scroll back further, and then But so I'm gonna rely on you for the feeds.
Yeah, and I'm not
I watched
perfect.
the episodes.
I'm not perfect, but better than I've been in many years. We'll put it that way.
I love
Which
that.
isn't saying
That's how you
much.
started.
It's a low
You
floor.
started watching the feeds.
Yes. I was addicted to them. After we played, though, I think I watched them for like one more year, and then the magic's gone. It's like when you find
You're
out Santa
absolutely right.
doesn't exist,
Even watching the show, the magic kind of feels gone a little bit to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Like I watched the show because I'm like, okay, the Winner Circle is going. I want to be able to do that. But like, if it wasn't for that, I would be like catching up here and there.
It's called
Christy and I
adulthood,
don't
man.
watch it together. It's just honestly, my thing is it's my dirty pleasure. Like I love the Bravo stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Love Islands. Those are my shows that I love. Like, give me the drama with like relationship stuff. That's what I like.
Yeah, I watch Naked and Afraid right now. That's my show. Naked and Afraid. I do the Love Island as well, although that's a commitment. It's
It's full commitment.
I do like Big Brother still. I mean, listen, I think we can both agree on this point. Like, there's no way to downplay it. Like, Big Brother changed our lives.
It
Like,
changed
our lives exponentially. And the reason that we're in the position we're in from a professional standpoint, I mean, obviously we're doing different stuff, but the money, how much that helps you start a life,
For sure.
it completely gives you a whole new trajectory to go on. And on top of that, I'll speak for myself. It was one of the greatest summers of my life, not only because I won, just the experience, the people we were with. So it's something that I'll always have, that I'll talk about for years. And, so I'm appreciative. I like watching the show. It's a little bit of nostalgia when you see certain things. The producers were always great to you and I. So you love to support them because they always supported us.
Yeah, I will say that winning definitely makes it, or even
Just a little.
Even getting second place, like that felt, and I say this all the time, that felt like a win too. So that made it one of the greatest summers. Like, I don't know if I finished around the middle or went home early.
It's a little different. No, we got the full, we didn't get cheapened out. We got the full experience. Like, we got to experience all the comps, all the twists. We got to see behind the curtain a little bit at the final three when, Rich is talking to us more candidly and Chris is 100%. You got it twice. But, I can't speak for the season you won, but something about 16 for me, and I've only played one season, it just was the perfect cast of people where we had a little bit of everything.
It really was. I mean, I say it all the time. If you haven't watched season 16, then you just really haven't watched one of the best seasons that the show had to offer. And I don't just say that because we were on it, but like exactly how you just described it. It just had an eclectic group that meshed together well. We had a good combination of fun characters plus game characters that just made for like a summer that was enjoyable. Now, there are people that have bad things to say about it because maybe people that they were rooting for went home, but it's just like, you're just bitter.
No, I mean, we had a great time. And what I really remember is the stuff that most people didn't see. Like, I think about, and I'm not just saying it because I'm sitting here with you, I think about our nights on the pool table.
Yeah, man.
Playing until the sun was coming up.
Didn't have that the second time I was there.
See, you know what I mean? We had something. I don't know what it was, but I didn't want to go to sleep. Not because of we didn't even talk game a lot of the times.
Yeah.
It was just like, I was an older guy, 10 years, you're 30, right? 31?
34.
Oh, you're old now. You're catching up to me. I feel like you're getting closer.
I know, man.
But for me, like, it was a lot of game, but I was living my adult life. I was a cop. Not a lot of fun things happen while you're a cop. So it was a way to get away from my real life and just go back to being a kid, like during summer, you know, like after college. And I felt younger in there with you guys. And like, I had so much fun. I didn't want it to end. And I remember those days the most, like you, Zach, Caleb, playing games, making fun of each other, poking each other with the pool sticks, just like a lot of dumb shit. But like, those are the things I really remember.
Yeah, that's what it took away from my second time because we didn't have that because of the pandemic. We didn't have the backyard like we did on 16.
True.
So,
by the way, poking each other with the pool sticks. What? Pause.
I mean,
whacking each other with the pool sticks. Jesus.
That's what we do.
Jesus.
Derrick. I mean, dude, now I've transitioned that over to the golf course. Like when my boys are on the golf course, I'm like, dude, you better watch yourself. You picking up that ball or anyway. So
we've grown up a lot, I swear.
I never will. I literally still laugh at farts, which I found hilarious on season 16.
You do that thing, you fart and then whoa, like there's a loose floorboard or something. It would die. Would absolutely die every time. No,
lose it.
It was great, and that's a scary thing about if I ever went back is like I know it wouldn't be the same. I mean, you won the second time around, and you're like it wasn't the same.
It wasn't the same, but it does help to win. Anyway,
enough about us. 18 minutes in.
I mean, listen, we had a great time.
We're catching up. We haven't talked in months. We hated each other for a while there.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, after the fight, that was
bad.
We had the restraining order. We couldn't talk.
Yep, that's true. We had to drop that before we could do the pod.
Yeah, so I'm glad that we dropped that last night, and we are here today. So, quick recap of the week. Spoilers to anybody that did not watch last night's episode. I'm not going to put it in the title anymore, I guess, because there's always one person. Lauren wins the HOH, nominates Keanu, Kelly, and Will, and then the veto is won by Keanu, and the replacement is Adrian. I wanted to see how you felt about Lauren's HOH week as a whole.
You know, it's going to sound like the politically correct answer, but it's subjective. It depends on what you want to accomplish. If your mission is to just stay under the radar, not make too many waves, then I think her HOH was a success. Adrian was not someone who was attached to a lot of people. People weren't going to really be pissed about him going up and going home. It's kind of just like a wasted week. Now, as far as progressing her game, I don't know how Adrian going home helps her. She basically put 3 people on the block that wouldn't have targeted her. The other hand, she could have went after Ashley, but if she missed, she's target number 1 for a lot of people. So I understand her rationale behind it. She was a little wishy-washy. I wish she wouldn't have been so indecisive with a lot of the people she was speaking with because it kind of threw people off, and I don't know how much they trust her now. But overall, if the objective was to get through the week without making too many waves or getting too much blood on your hands, I think it was a success. Not exciting, but a success.
I completely agree in that was my initial thought of it. Was like, as a viewer, was it a wild week where we saw a lot of drama? No, but as an HOH, as a player, I put my player cap on and I'm like, that's kind of what you want. There was a house target in Keanu that
she went for him.
She went for him. The tough part about this season, and it was last season as well, is nominating 3 people kind of puts you in a really bad position because when you're nominating 3 people, you have the 3 people all gunning for the veto.
That's right.
A replacement nom is is very likely. We saw it last year where the veto was used constantly because whoever was nominated was winning it. Unfortunately, it was Keanu for her, but the tough part is that Keanu would have had 2 chances when you're nominating him because he doesn't just have the veto anymore. He has the blockbuster. So it's like we would always talk about this. And I said it last week going into this week. I'm like, if there's a specific house target, that's an okay time to win HOH because you can kind of rally the house around you. But the way that Big Brother is now structured, it doesn't necessarily benefit her because she made some people feel a little uneasy with conversations. She ultimately didn't piss a whole side of the house off because she didn't nominate Ashley. But it's like, what benefit did it do for her game? Keanu's still there. She's an easy target for Keanu if he wins HOH. Kelly's there. She's an easy person to be nominated, and Will she really pissed him off. So it's like, and then Adrian goes home, and like Adrian was never going to target her.
That's right.
And she just did that because it was easy because he was already nominated before. So it's like, strategically, I don't think it was great, but like just to get through a week, fine. I would give it probably like 6.5, 6.6 out of 10. Like it was just there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Keanu has a lot of enemies that are bigger than Lauren, so he's not thinking about her. Kelly, she's volunteered to go on the block essentially. And then you have Will, who, yeah, he's not happy, and this is no disrespect to Will, but he's not winning comps right now. So he's not really a threat to win something and target you. I will give you a little Big Brother tea, talking to production about the Blockbuster and last year, the AI Arena. Last year was supposed to be just a 1-year thing. And if you notice, they're doing it again this year. And it's going to be, from my understanding, and it's subject to change, I'm not part of production, but it's going to be a staple going forward. And personally, I love it because what it does is exactly what you're seeing. Without the AI Arena or the Blockbuster, you kind of know who's going to go home. But the Houseguest and the audience really don't know until that competition takes place. And then variables can change because the person comes in, whoever wins, they're scrambling. It always gives you a little bit of excitement every week because throughout the week, you have to plan as house guests for multiple scenarios because you don't know who's going to win the Blockbuster. So by doing it, it makes the game less predictable. It also makes the votes less lopsided as well. So basically how successful AI Arena was as far as from a television perspective and a game perspective, they decided to implement it again this year. And from my understanding, it's going to be something they do moving forward because it's a new development in the game like the veto, because the veto wasn't always there either. But it gives people another opportunity to save themselves, and it also makes it harder for a large group like we did to control the game and make it kind of boring on eviction night. So that is something that I learned by going out there and talking to production about the direction the show's going. Personally, I like it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's good. I liked it last year because it mixes up just that like simple and easy week. It also makes your strategy going through the game, it has to be way more detailed. You can't just get away with like, oh, I'm going to put 2 people up. As long as we get through the veto, like there's myself, there's 3 other people that are going to compete in the veto, and we can just keep the noms the same.
Yep. After veto, the week's done.
Yeah.
If you got a good alliance, it's over. Right. Now you got to wait until they walk back down those stairs to know what are you going to do.
Yeah, I would like to see if, like, depending on how it goes, incorporating like almost like a crazy, like almost like a competition to determine who that third nominee could be, like something different a little bit.
I like that.
Just because you're
so like a random can get thrown up there.
Yeah.
Like someone who's running the house could find themselves in trouble.
If you really want to try to mix up, because ultimately AI Arena last year was because I think they were getting frustrated that a big alliance, like the script of Big Brother kind of got written where it was like, get a big alliance, be inside of that alliance. Don't be the front of it, but don't be the bottom of it. And then get past that week 6 point. And then you can really come alive. And I think it started to kind of get stale to viewers. So they were trying to mix it up. So yeah. I like the BB Blockbuster.
We don't always get the live HOHs on eviction night, but at least now we get the blockbusters where it's something we're getting to see right in front of our eyes. You see the stress levels with it. I'm excited. Like I look forward to watching and being like, who's going to win the blockbuster tonight? This could change things. Can Kelly pull it off? Can she? I'm running through those scenarios where normally it's like, okay, well, so-and-so didn't win the veto. These 2 are on the block tonight. They decided before the feeds went down who they're voting out.
Right. And now we have, and also like, if I'm thinking now as like a producer, I'm like, how are we going to get through Wednesday's episode and Thursday's episode where the week has been decided by Sunday?
That's right.
Or the week has been decided by Monday and they still have to film Monday all day, all night, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's like, there's so much days of filming because the veto was played on Saturday. Nominations happen Friday. Veto's played on Saturday. The HOH knows what they're going to do and it's pretty much solidified. So it gives them more leverage in also creating storylines. So the producers did a really good job with it. It was really well thought out.
I like it.
A person I want to talk about is Vince. I'm watching Vince, right? You guys talked about him on your episode where he's making all these final 2s.
Yeah.
I agreed that it just wasn't great because making that many final 2s early is not good. Like, you want to make those final 2s as you're building the relationships with people, and doing it super early, it leaves you susceptible to just getting lost in that initial conversation. And it's like, well, I haven't talked to you in a couple of weeks. You did that to me. I wonder how many people you're doing it to. But I thought Vince has been playing pretty good. I thought he was getting a little bit ahead of himself. But overall, I think probably best player in the house, like strategically, is Vince, in my opinion. What do you think about Vince?
I agree. I think he's the best speaker for sure, like the best conversationalist by a mile. He goes into these conversations, these one-on-one conversations, and everybody who's watching them is saying like he finds a way to relate to the person he's speaking with. He changes up his tone and intonation depending on who he's speaking to, and he mirrors them in that conversation, and he has it independently for each person that he's conversating with. So he gets it, and that's why you see on the live shows or on the tape shows a lot of people saying Vince is my number one. As far as the final twos, it's a slippery slope because it could work out really well if people don't cross-reference information, but you don't want to be the one offering the final twos. And to his defense, a lot of people are offering them to him, and he's just like, yeah, I would love that. And that kind of happened to me, although the word final two only really came out of my mouth with you. Yeah. Honestly. But there was other people like a Caleb or like a Frankie who felt like I would go to the end with them. Well, what does that mean?
Right.
Is that final three, final four? But you got to be careful because these guys are talking to each other. Everyone's talking to everyone. So more than likely, they're going to compare notes. And that's when he could be Vince is the best player or top two, top three. But he is someone that I could see being taken out during a double eviction because everyone knows he's a threat to win. That's the only concern I have for Vince.
Yeah. I think someone like Rachel will try to rally people, and
she's already doing it.
And I think he needs to. So like he was feeling it this week with the conversation that he had with Lauren, which I've really appreciated how he pulled the reins back and didn't push too hard on Ashley because he was like, that could affect me. Maybe I should not push too hard on that. Now, he then was a little shocked when she didn't put up Ashley and put up Adrian. So I was like, well, maybe he was. Maybe I was just missing that on the feeds. So
he pushed on it, but he definitely Lauren had told him that Rachel was inferring that he was running her HOH. She basically said, don't let a 30-year-old unemployed person run your HOH.
I had that note. She went
in on him. She went in on him. She went full Rachel, and he got wind of that and realizes like, oh, she's on to me. So he kind of pulled back a little bit and let her do her thing, hoping that may kind of calm the waters a little bit. Listen, Rachel's on to him. The problem with Vince, a lot of people are on to him. They all know the game he's playing. He's in the rooms talking to everyone. With a lot of the players that end up winning it at this point in the game, usually the pundits that are talking about it are like, oh my God, nobody knows that so-and-so's running the game. Everyone knows that Vince is pulling a lot of strings.
Yeah.
It's very early. Can he still get to the end and win? Of course, but it's going to be a battle, and he's going to go through some turbulent water if he's going to get there.
I think I wrote this down. I think that is coming from his relationship to Jimmy, because I think him and Jimmy were close, and I think that a lot of people that I'm seeing are like speaking about Jimmy like he thinks he's running it, like him and Vince think that they're running the house. And I said the note that I took was that I felt like Jimmy could be a downfall for Vince. Because if they get grouped together, it's going to be like, well, they both think they're running the house. They both think they're super strategic. Like, let's maybe target one or the other. And I think Jimmy is a little more solidified with what is becoming a majority in the house than Vince is. So I think Jimmy's a really good player too. I just think Jimmy, you're starting to see him. He's like, he pushes Rachel, and I don't know how far he's going to be able to keep, like, he's doing it in a playful way, but like Rachel can only take so much of that like playful banter before it like insults her.
And we know that the longer in that house, you get more irritable.
Yeah. And I think if Jimmy pisses Rachel off, she can very well turn and be like, I think we should send Jimmy home.
Yeah.
You mentioned something about like if something a lot of people are talking, people cross-referencing. So it kind of brings me to another point that I had about Mickey. And I thought Mickey, Jimmy, and Morgan, good final three. I thought that could be a really good final three. Jimmy didn't run his HOH great by including them. So that we saw the fracture there. Then we saw this week, Morgan tells Mickey about this final three that she had with Vince and Zach, and Mickey literally brings that to Adrian, and then Adrian tells Zach, and it comes back to Morgan. That to me is a crazy betrayal. That would be like you and I talking. You told me something, and then around the bend you found out like I told that information to somebody else. That would ruin The reason why our final two was so incredible is because that trust was like, our conversations are only ours.
They didn't leave us. They didn't leave us. Yeah, you could tell it broke Morgan a lot.
And now I don't know where she goes from there because, yeah, she has a close relationship with Zach and she has a close relationship with Vince, but like Mickey seemed to be her person that she really, really trusted. Mickey shared her power with her immediately. And that to me was like a big betrayal early on.
Yeah, it was a misstep by Mickey for sure. And when you're in there and Morgan knows that she's only told one person that exact conversation, so when they say it to her, she knows it's true.
Yep.
And that's a tough realization because you're 30 days in, you think you have your number one, and now you realize that they could be going against you. And then you start to wonder, well, are they with me at all? Or are they just setting me up? Do I look stupid on national TV? All these things that are run through your head. Now, we know that's not true. She's not going to that. Mickey's not going to that extreme. Right. But being in the house, you don't have that luxury of knowing that. So you start thinking about the optics of the game you're playing, and are you being made to look dumb? And all of these things are natural human things that run through your mind because there's the game you're playing in the house and then the game you're playing with the audience. And nobody wants to be embarrassed. So you're trying to balance the two things. So yeah, when you think you have someone in there that you can trust, and the key word is trust because that's such a valuable commodity in Big Brother. And the minute you lose it, it's gone.
Yeah, I think the only saving grace to it maybe is that Adrian went home. Yeah. I'd be very interested to see if Morgan brings that to Mickey and be like, hey, listen, Adrian went home, but I just want to have this conversation with you because I want to build our trust. I don't want this to be an issue because I feel like I understand where Mickey's coming from, why it maybe rubbed her the wrong way. Because she's like, all right, I know you did share this with me, but you have a final three with them. And I'm not included in that. So like, where does that leave me? Yeah, that's
she
great.
said that right to her.
Right. You're protecting yourself. So it's like, and she was, and Morgan tried to bring it into like, oh, we could be a final four, but like
Mickey's not dumb. She's an afterthought.
Right. Right. So it's like, that's a really tough position for her to be in. And I can understand why they made her tailspin, but it's like, it's kind of similar in the sense of like where there were times that we did things like that where it was like, hey, this is going on. Okay, let's make something happen. But we always knew that it was only about us two. It was only about us two. All, these other groups didn't matter.
No, we did that. I mean, that was a strategy we implemented all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
The rationale, Caleb,
constantly.
Zach.
We had the one with Hayden and Nicole.
The rationale.
That we then just blew up. That was the rationale. Oh, the rationale. That's what it was called.
Yeah, the rationale. Then we had Los Tres Amigos with Zach. We didn't have
detonators.
The what?
The detonators with Christine.
The detonators. Frankie, that was with Christine. That was a little bigger. That was like me, you, Frankie. I think Zach.
Zach.
That didn't include Amber and Devin, but. No, I mean, we were always insulated by a bigger group, knowing that we were the final two. So from Mickey's standpoint, she's looking at it like, okay, that's great. You're bringing me in, but clearly I'm at the bottom of that totem pole. This isn't an equal partnership. So why would I be okay with that? I need to find my alliance that's got me at the top of the chart. So Mickey's smart. The only thing I'd say about Mickey is it's okay to clock everything. Maybe don't always bring it to their attention that you're clocking it.
Yes, such a good point.
You know, you don't need to let them know that you're on to them. Like, keep that information to yourself and use it to your advantage because she's very honest and transparent. Like, hey, I see what you're doing, which is great TV, but, you know, it allows them to know that they're showing their hand and they can make adjustments. So I think some of the things she's observing, she should just keep to herself and use it to further her own game because she has the attributes to win the whole thing.
1,000,000%. I think Mickey is... She's in that like top tier of the season. Like of the groups, I think Mickey can be there. I think Morgan can be there. I think Vince can be there. I think Jimmy can be there.
Well, I didn't even tell you this, but I suggest at the end of this episode, we're not going to have it on the screen, but we bring it back a little old school and we do a quick hit list.
All right.
We'll run through it quick. It won't be all deep, but we'll run through our last, our 14 people. And we'll develop our own list of who's at the top right now.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'll tell you what.
Huh?
I like that.
Okay.
We'd have to quickly go through it. But
no, we're going to go through it quick. But I already wrote the names down. I think we rock them out. And then someone in the chat will put them in the comments, as far as what we picked. But we love doing it because we'll get shit for it. It'll be great.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. What last conversation that I thought was pretty interesting. A lot of people were like, "Oh, Lauren, I don't think she thinks for herself. It's going to be Catherine's HOH. It's going to be Vince's HOH."
Rachel called her out about it. Yeah,
Rachel called her out about it. I thought it was really interesting, and it shows that she just she does think for herself. They're not giving her enough credit. I don't know what she's doing in the house every single day, but when Rachel came up and had that conversation with her and was ultimately dogging Vince and was like, "You're a strong woman. You don't let a 30-year-old unemployed man run your HOH." I really respected that Lauren didn't just eat that up and go, oh, she thought for herself. She's like, I have barely had any conversations with you. And you ultimately came up here, told me not to let him run my HOH, and then tried to run my HOH for me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that conversation that changed her mind. It was the bigger picture of, I don't want to make a larger group angry. And so this is why I'm going to put Adrian up. And it was a little more strategic than just oh, this is an easy move. It was, no, I'm making the choice right now to not piss off a bigger group, to maybe buy me some more time. I thought that was really good on Lauren's part. I appreciated it because it was I was hearing people Mickey was saying it about Lauren.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, Lauren's on it. She's a fan. She's a fan of the show. She's watched the show.
Yeah.
So she's not just some pretty girl that just is oh, I'm so happy to be here on Big Brother. So
no, she's there to play.
There
was some people saying online, you have Morgan who likes Zach who likes Lauren, and Lauren's there to play Big Brother.
Yeah.
That's the triangle.
I love that.
But,
I love that.
That conversation with Rachel and Lauren, I saw a lot of chatter online about it. And there's a couple ways you can look at it, because on one hand, what Lauren's perspective is her perspective, right? She felt like what Rachel was doing there was uncalled for. She didn't like it, and she was basically doing the same thing. Okay, that's one way of looking at it. But here's another way. What was Rachel's objective in that conversation? We all know what it was. She didn't want Ashley going on the block. She wanted Adrian to go up. So I don't know if I'm giving Rachel too much credit, but she was attacking Vince in that conversation indirectly. That's what she was doing. But her ultimate goal was to have Lauren put Adrian on the block over Ashley. And sure enough, Lauren leaves that conversation saying, she's saying I'm not running my HOH. I am running my HOH. I'm going to do what I want to do. So whatever emotion she elicited from Lauren, it worked. Because ultimately, I don't know if Rachel had influence in that with her conversation, but at the end of the day, Lauren ends up putting up Adrian and keeping Ashley safe. So
yeah,
I don't know if that's the miss of Rachel, or it just worked out still for Rachel, even though Rachel had a misstep there. But Rachel at this point is in an interesting position, because you saw Adrian on the live show basically saying that they all agreed they're not going to vote for someone to be a two-time winner if they get to the end. That's stupid. If they're the best player, you should vote for them to win.
We've seen it happen to Dan, though.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's dumb. Although I would argue Ian played a great game and won that final comp, but different conversation for a different day. But Rachel right now, and she's admitted it, she's not the same player she once was. She's not winning competitions right now. She's got a big disadvantage because everyone knows her playbook if they've watched the show before. And you can tell she's a little bit of a fish out of water, because this is a younger group of people that are in there at different points of their lives, and she's trying to integrate herself, but you can tell she's struggling to find her groove. She really is. And I think she needs to win a comp to be confident in herself going forward as far as what is my place in this game? Because she needs control. She needs to be in the driver's seat to make some Rachel moves.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with Rachel right now, and she mentioned it a little bit. She didn't go into where I'm going with this, but she said something about these new school players, maybe I should just start creating enemies. And I think Rachel thrives in those hostile environments where it's you call me out, I'm coming for you. She almost tried to have that with Keanu, and it happened a little bit. It stirred up a little bit. And I just was it happened with Zay. And that's where Rachel thrives. You piss her off, then she's going for the veto. She's trying to win the HOH. And right now, she's not in that situation, because that's not what Big Brother is anymore. Big Brother no longer is this game where there's clashes and there's drama and there's these fights. And then
social media's changed that.
You're my target. Right. And that's the game that Rachel thrives
Unless you get an Angela. Unless you get an Angela in there. But yeah, it's an enigma now.
But you saw that even last season. It kind of Angela was in there and everybody was people were
she's crazy.
They were she's crazy. Oh, we want to stay away from her. Rachel can't play that same game that she played in the past. And also, it's really tough. Like I said this earlier in the year for Rachel, it's like she played Big Brother with Brendan every single time.
Yeah.
And so now she's got to go in there and form that relationship. Like who's my ride or die? Who am I going to go to the end with? Who do I know has my back, period, end of story? And when there's not like that person like Brendan, finding that person is really hard because this game is meant to set up distrust.
Yep.
So that's where I think she's also struggling. Like I really felt like she was close with Amy, and then Amy went home. So now she's kind of like, okay, well now what do I do? Like I have to find another final two or find somebody else that I trust. It's not an easy game, and it is really difficult to play this game the way that she did. She was on 12 and then she was on 13 and then she took a long break.
Yeah.
And it's going to take her some time. What I will say is if they let her get comfortable in competitions, they're all going to be in serious trouble. And also I feel like she'll have a way of like forming relationships with people. Like you don't want to, if I were them, I would want to target Rachel because if you let her get too far, she can just be a beast and win competitions. Like I don't think she's lost that. I think she's just got to find it.
She's got to find it.
She'll be dangerous if they don't try to target her.
The key to winning HOH is it's not about just getting out a target. It's about gathering information because everyone's going to come to you. And when you're a first time player, you don't really learn that till your first or your second or third HOH win, where you realize that this is an opportunity to find out where everybody is in the house. You don't get that when you're down in the living amongst the peasants.
Yeah.
If she wins HOH, she knows the power it really has to bring people in and have them spill their guts. So with that information, she's going to be able to set up her next moves. But she's got to get upstairs. She's got to get upstairs to put herself in that power position.
Yeah. The tough part is like, and we know this because if you're not getting picked for the veto, you're only competing in the HOH. If you're not on the block, you're not competing in the blockbuster. And like those HOHs can come and go in an instant and they're very nerve-wracking. And she hasn't played the game in a while. So it's like she needs to just get back into that rhythm because she just was a comp beast. Yeah. And so if she gets into that rhythm, they're all in a lot of trouble.
Would you agree that the fact that she hasn't found her groove, because she's not throwing comps. She's admitted that. She's trying to win them. But the fact that she hasn't been able to win may have indirectly made her target smaller, where people aren't in fear of her because they're like, oh, she can't win a comp, so we don't have to worry about her right now. Because if she had won a bunch of comps back-to-back in the first couple weeks, she'd probably be gone. But because they're looking at her as more like a mother figure, just kind of like schooling them and teaching them who can't really win the comps when they need to, I think it's made her target a lot smaller, and they're kind of forgetting who she is and how many times she's played.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that it feels like they are like early on.
They're underestimating her for sure.
Oh my God, this is Rachel. She is one of the best players to play the game, past winner. And then it kind of died down. And I said this early on when she was having like the drama with Zay. I was like, I didn't want her to do that, because I was like, if she does that, it could make people like the alarms go off in people's heads. And I was like, she needs to like dial that back.
Yeah.
And
she was looking for the
really
one-liners initially. I think she felt like coming into the game, she had no shot at winning, and maybe she doesn't, but she was going there, collect a check, have a good performance, and get a couple, floaters, grab a life vest moments where that, she would have those going forward. And she was throwing some one-liners out there. Some of them hit, some of them didn't. And I think now she's kind of settled into the game, and she's going to see how far she can go. So we'll see. We'll see with Rachel. I mean, we'll get to our hit list at the end, and we'll put where we think she is right now. But she has an uphill battle for sure.
Yeah, she has an uphill battle. All right, we kind of talked about your fantasy team, so let's jump into. We're getting towards the end of the episode. Yeah. Let's jump into the hit list here.
Okay.
This will be our last segment, and I apologize, everyone out there. I know I said every single week I was going to do a comment segment. We're not going to do that this week, but let me know. Drop your comments, because there's a lot that we covered here. We're going to talk about the hit list, and then I'll bring the comment segment back next week.
All right, so with this hit list, there's two ways of looking at it, and I think it's important to set the table because depending on how you're valuing players is going to depend on our list. So there's two ways we can approach this. Who is the safest at this point in that game? Like, who's the safest, who's not in any risk of going home, or who's in the best position to win the game? Who's setting up a foundation to get to the end? They're two very different questions, because the person who's safe right now and not in jeopardy of going home, doesn't mean they're playing a winning game. And so that's something we have to establish here. For me personally, I'm not only looking at who's safe this week, but more importantly, who's setting themselves up to get to the final two and actually win.
Yeah.
So, I go back and forth with Taylor on this. She had Ava very high. I love Ava. Entertaining player, fun to watch. And she's super safe right now. Nobody's targeting her. But to me personally, is she playing a winning game where she's going to get to the end and pull this thing off? From what I'm seeing right now, no. She is making some moves, though. She had a lot of influence on Zach and Vince, which didn't make the episode as far as them changing their vote. They went to her before that vote last night and said they were basically looking for one extra vote to get it to 7 so it wasn't a tiebreaker. And they went to Ava to try to get that 7th vote. And Ava essentially flipped it back on them, reverse Uno'd it, and said, hey, not only am I not voting that way, but you guys probably shouldn't do it either. It's going to put a lot of pressure on Lauren. That's your ride or die. And they left that conversation, thought about it, and then said to themselves, damn, I don't think we have the votes. And that's why they flipped and voted the other way, because if they've stuck to their guns, it would have been a tie, and Adrian would still be in the house.
Yeah.
But, that's not what happened. So she's playing a good game. She's playing a better game than she was when I did the first episode on Unlocked, but I'm interested to see where we have her tonight based on how we're going to do this, which is who's in the best position to take this thing home right now.
I got to be honest with you.
Let's say I can see your wheels turning.
To run through the entire group is going to be hard. So what I'm going to do is
we're going to do them quick.
5. I'm going to do top 5.
You want to do top 5? I think we can do them quick, bro. We don't even have to talk about a lot. Keanu and Will, bottom 2.
Yeah.
Agreed?
Okay.
Interchangeable, but I would say Keanu's definitely, based on what we know now, we're spoiling a little bit here for people, but I think spoiler alert right here. If you don't want to know, get off right now. But Riley won the HOH. Mickey took it over. She's now HOH. She's targeting Keanu or Riley. That's her main target. So I would say Keanu at the bottom, Will right above him.
Yeah.
And I would say that Riley is got not a lot of time left either, because he just exposed all his cards. What do you think about that?
I would say Catherine and Riley probably are like 11 and 12 for me.
I would agree. I'll put Riley right there, and I'll put Catherine right above him, right? So we got Keanu at 14, Will at 13, Riley at 12, Catherine at 11. And I would also say that Kelly's probably down there too, because she's 10. Volunteering every week to be on the block. She doesn't really have a strong ally. She's expendable to everyone.
Everybody.
So I have that. I'm just marking off the people that we already picked. I would say 10. So the thing about setting themselves up to win, I think for me, I don't see a path for Ashley right now. Unless something changes. A lot of people are not big fans of hers, and also Lauren. Not a lot of people respect her game at this point either. How do you feel about those two? 7, 8, 9.
So I was gonna go. So I have my top 4 written down right now. So I was working from the bottom up. So now we have. Hold on, I'm gonna do that at 5. Who else do we need here? Okay, I like this. Actually, I'm gonna flip flop that.
Okay, we got some moves going on over there.
We got some moves happening here.
Okay.
And then who else do I need to put in here? I'm missing 3. I know the 2. Okay, so let's go. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here. And then I'm missing 1. Who am I missing?
You got Keanu, Ava, Riley, Catherine, Lauren, Jimmy, Mickey, Morgan, Will, Kelly, Vince, Zach, Rachel, and Ashley. We already got our bottom 5.
That's who it is. I got it. Okay. All right. So I have.
And by the way, these bottom
list.
5, they're kind of interchangeable. A lot of them. I mean, they're at the bottom because we don't see a path for them to win. That's why they're there.
So I'll go 9, 8, 7 right now. I have Ashley at 9, Lauren at 8, Rachel at 7.
Ashley at 9. Who's at 8?
I have Lauren at 8, Rachel at 7.
I like that. I actually like that. Let me mark them off my list because we've already got them done. So Rachel's off the list, Ashley's off the list, and Lauren is off the list. All right, we're getting somewhere.
So then these next 2, I have 6 and 5, and these are the ones that I flip-flopped. I have Ava at 6, Zach at 5.
I would say, okay.
I first
so
had
let me make an
Zach
argument.
and then Ava.
I think Jimmy has a worse chance of winning the game than Zach. I think Zach's in a better position. Everybody likes Zach.
Yeah,
Nobody's looking at Zach as a puppet master right now. Would you say, if you're to compare those two directly, who do you think has a better chance? And don't let me convince you here. Who do you think has a better chance at winning, Jimmy or Zach?
I think that Jimmy has relationships as well. And I think although Jimmy won and everybody's talking about him, I think that there's going to be that point where people are going to just kind of lean towards Zach being likable and a comp beast, even though he's won nothing because he's got the stature. So that's what I feel like happening to Zach. That's the only reason why I have him right below Jimmy. So
okay, let me make an argument for you that's going to inflate your ego a little bit. Okay? Zach is you. Not as good, but Zach is you. And I'm going to tell you why. Zach is smart. Zach is athletic. Everybody likes him. The girls want to date him. The boys want to be his friend, right? And right now, because he's not winning, they're underestimating him. But you've proven that the archetype, that Zach/Cody player, there's a point in this game where you can't just backdoor them. They get to play in every veto. So he's got 2 shots to save himself every week. That is not the guy you want competing against 6 other people because it's half the house. I am much more fearful of Zach in competitions than Jimmy. And if
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
I think you're underestimating Jimmy.
Okay.
Jimmy should have won the veto competition when he had Keanu on the block. He was zipping and his finger slipped. I rate Jimmy very high in his competition.
Well, he's on my draft team, so I'm not. This is your show. I'm gonna give you the win. So Zach at 5. Do you have Jimmy at 4?
Jimmy at 4. Mickey at 3. Vince at 2. Morgan at 1. That's what I have.
I don't have Morgan at 1 anymore. So Morgan's doing great, but she's already lost her number 1. There's already distrust there.
Well, she distrusts her.
Correct. She distrusts her, but also Mickey doesn't feel as good about Morgan either, especially after bringing that 4-person alliance where she's like, wait, now you're bringing me into this? I think Mickey's in a better position than Morgan, although that could change after this HOH run. I got to see how she navigates this HOH. I mean, like Vince at number 2. I'm putting him there.
So you would flip-flop Mickey and Morgan then?
Mickey's there to win Big Brother, and Morgan's trying to be in a showmance with Zach.
I think that's a stretch. I don't know that she's trying.
This is where the feeds would come in to play for you.
I'm not saying that she's not trying to have a showmance. I do think that she's interested in Zach, but I don't think she's there for a showmance.
Dude, she was literally crying about the fact that Zach doesn't like her the way she likes him on the feed.
That's unfortunate, but you know what? You don't want to wake up a sleeping beast, and that's what may just happen.
Morgan is a D1 athlete.
Did you see when she found out that Mickey told Adrian, she put boxing gloves on and started punching the boxing bag?
I was scared.
Like, come on.
I was scared. I'm like, who's she thinking about when she's doing that? Hey, listen.
I don't think she's there for a showmance. I think that she you know what? She may have gotten a little distracted, but I think she's back.
Okay. I'm going to put Morgan at 1 and Mickey at 3.
No, you don't have, you have yours. And then you know what? This is perfect for the comments.
All right. So I would swap them. So here's your list.
And you're not saying Mickey at all because she's on your fantasy team?
No, because I honestly was I was indifferent about her when I picked her. I had Jimmy higher than her. So a real quick on your list, you have Morgan number 1, Vince, Mickey, Jimmy, Zach, Ava, Rachel, Lauren, Ashley, Kelly, Catherine, Riley, Will, Keanu.
Correct.
For me, I'm not going to switch everything up because I think a lot of these are interchangeable because the way I would segment this, people who are running the show, people who are riding the middle, people who are at the bottom of the totem pole, and they're going to be perpetual pawns every week.
You want to be anywhere in the middle or up top because
I agree. At this point,
we've talked about this in the past where the top those top 7 or 8 can kind of fluctuate depending on how an HOH goes.
So I'm going to switch up my top 5.
All right.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to have right now Mickey at 1, Vince at 2. Morgan at 3, Zach at 4, Jimmy at 5. That's mine.
I'll tell you what you told me about Ava makes me want to bump her up.
She's moving up the list every single week. She's moving up the list every single week. She's starting to show signs of hey, I'm here to play. And I'm not saying she's playing a bad game. It's a little slower than you've seen from previous archetypes. The best comparison I would give for her as far as a comp to a winning player, Andy Herron, where Andy started really slow and he was kind of in the middle of two big alliances and they basically went after each other and took each other out. Yeah. And then Andy's sitting at the end with Gina Marie.
Yeah.
And he smoked her, you know?
Yeah.
I could see something like that where she gets another a goat there with her at the end. She could make the argument because she's likable and everyone would love to see her win. But right now, I'm not. Maybe she's just really playing it subtle,
Andy
just trying to get to jury.
I would have to see a little more cutthroat out of Ava. Andy was pretty cutthroat.
Andy, when he had to be. And Ava seems like she can be that way as well. I do give her that. She will cut your throat. At least that's what I'm getting. So a lot of people are very high on Ava. They think there's a lot of people that have her at the top of the game, saying she's the number one player in the house right now.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet. But there's a lot of pundits, there's a lot of different podcasts that are putting Ava at number one right now. And she could be there for me in a couple weeks, depending on how these weeks go. But at some point, she's going to have to choose a side. What Andy did well was he never really did. And he never got exposed for it. Mm-hmm. That's what could happen here. And if that happens, I think for sure she's top 3 or 4 in this game. I think she's making it to final 3, final 4 for sure. Can she get to the end is going to depend on, can she win the right comps and can she take out the people she needs to take out when she has to do it?
I think it all depends on who ends up in that, who's there in like the final 6.
Right. Because think about an endurance comp with like a Morgan, a Zach, and, throw somebody else in there. Like, is Ava going to outlast them? I don't see it. I don't see that happening. I haven't seen her. I don't know how well she's done in the mental comps. You guys in the comments can tell us, but I don't remember any of her comp performances, which is not a good thing because she was never like close to winning it as far as what I've seen so far. So I'm not as high on her as others are, although I will say right out, if she wins this game, I wouldn't be shocked. But right now, I just think that the people we have above her are in a stronger position.
I mean, I'll tell you what, there's like a lot of people on this season right now. If you told me to like bank on who I think is going to win right now, I could not even come close.
There's a handful.
I couldn't confidently give you an answer. So we will see how that shakes out.
Yeah. I would say all the way down to 7 still has a pretty good chance. Maybe even 8 with Lauren.
And if I'm Rachel, like, it feels like this is kind of exactly where you want to be.
For her, I don't disagree with that. You don't want to be running the show right now.
You don't want to be viewed as somebody running the show. And there was conversations about her and having pull and stuff like that. But I think Amy going home really made people think like, well, maybe Rachel doesn't have that much pull because it was a unanimous vote.
I agree with you. I think people are not intimidated by her right now from a game perspective. They know she has influence. They know she's a good talker. But I think they feel like they're playing the game. There's something bigger going on, and Rachel's just part of it. Vince sees her as for what she is, as far as the competitive standpoint, and Rachel sees Vince for what he is. She knows he's running the house. Right. She knows he's pulling the strings. So there's this battle going on between Rachel and Vince that's not overtly out there, but they both know they're going after each other. And they're not, one of them are going to go. Vince is going to get her or she's going to get him. And depending on who wins that battle, they could win the war. They could win the whole thing. But if Rachel gets to the end, playing a great game, wins a couple comps, makes some strong moves, has some moments, and gets up there and she's just obviously better than the person sitting next to her, and they choose not to vote for her because of some pact they made, that'll be the worst thing in Big Brother history. And I don't think it'll happen. I'm hoping that by jury, if she gets there, they have a conversation and they say, listen, we left her around and she took us all out one by one. I like to think they wouldn't do that. I think Adrian misspoke when he said, oh yeah, none of us, we all agreed that we didn't want to make her a 2-time winner. Well, what does that mean? Yeah. If she deserves to be a 2-time winner, you pick her. Now, her getting there is a whole different thing. She's going to have to, for her to be in that final 2 chair, that in and of itself would be extremely impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it would be really tough. I think that when it comes to the Vince and Rachel conversation, the problem that Vince is going to run into is if he doesn't start getting people to start vocalizing her being the one that's kind of maneuvering the game, where enough people are vocalizing it about him.
Yeah. He's going to
Rachel
go.
may not even be the one that has to take him out. It's not like Rachel may have to win the HOH to take out Vince, where Vince may have to win the HOH to take out Rachel. So I would say right now in that leg, like Rachel probably has little bit of a.
I would absolutely agree with you. She's planting seeds with everyone, and people are talking about him. Where Vince, as he said in the episode, he's petrified of Rachel. So he's been very weary about putting things out there about her. He's been saying things indirectly and to people he's closest with. But she's putting it right out there like, hey, Vince is running shit over there. What are we doing?
Yeah.
You know, she said it right to Lauren, and she's not even that tight with Lauren. So
yeah,
she's coming for Vince. This is where Vince has to put his pants on and
big boy pants.
Play the game. He is also someone that if he has to win comps, he's a college baseball player. I know he's unemployed, and that's kind of his like thing on the show. That's his shtick. But I think he's a very smart guy who's athletic as well, and if he feels like his back is against the wall, he could go on a tear too. So far, overall, my last question for you is rate the season A through, F. Where are you at the season as of right now?
Oh, God, I am not. I'll give it a B. I'll give it a B.
I'm going to give it a B+. Yes, because I'm on CBS's payroll, but also because I don't know who's going to win. I truly don't know yet, and it could change completely. We could come back and revisit this list in 3 or 4 weeks, and it could be completely reversed.
Could be.
So
I'll say that
to me is exciting.
Yeah, but there's one final thought here that I want to call out Vince for. It's the pizza pie conversation.
Oh, yes, called you out.
Cody and Enzo, I'm sorry. I don't understand how you've never heard pie as a reference for
I forgot
pizza.
about that. Good job remembering that one.
The thing is that anybody that made it to this point, I've been doing this constantly, and I saw all of you last week putting the the thought bubble in the comments. I appreciate you all. Throw a pizza pie in the comment if you've made it all the way to the end of the episode. This is going to be like an hour-long episode. If you've made it here and you throw a pizza pie out there, this one, you're getting shouted out because it's been an hour in next week's episode. Also, please, for all of you that do make it there, like hopefully it's not like 250 people, because then I'll just pick like
it's 10. Gonna be. Now it is. Is that what, like, I've heard pie obviously a million times, but is that what you call it? Like when you say, hey, we're gonna get a pie tonight, or are you kind of change it up?
I mix it up.
I feel like you've said pizza to me before many times.
I say pizza. I say pizza pie. Let me get, like, I call it, if I'm gonna get like a slice, it's like we're gonna get a pie. I do them all. Like I'll tell you what I wouldn't do: hear pie and not think it was a reference to pizza.
Even I mean, Rhode Island's got a big Italian population as well too. But I was like, oh yeah, pizza pie. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, she said pizza pie. It's not like she just walks upstairs and goes, "Oh, I'm gonna make a pie." Like if somebody did that, I'd be like, "What kind of pie are you making? Like, is it apple?" But like she said pizza pie, and he was like, "Pizza pie." It's like, yes, pizza pie.
It's still weird when I hear them shouting out different players. Like when I hear, oh yeah, sorry, Cody. I'm like, what a weird world, man.
Yeah, it's wild. I was gassed up that they were like, I got the comp. I was like,
oh yeah, man. Listen, obviously I knew it wasn't you, but I didn't know who it was, and I knew based on our conversations that you were super busy, and you had turned down other things because of how busy you were. So I was like, it can't be him. However, there was part of me who was like, maybe he just didn't tell me he's going to show up, and that'd be awesome. No. But when I saw Casey, there's a couple others too, like James Ryan, even although he's a little older now, but like those guys show up. Michael as well.
7 vetoes he won.
You just gotta pack it up. Those guys come in. Like Casey saying like, "Don't false start. I want to race." I'm like, boss.
Yeah.
At the end there, where she's like, "Don't false start. I want to race." I'm like, oh my God, like she's a beast.
That's where I had a lot of where I was watching Jimmy and Keanu, and in the first 2 legs, like they smoked her.
Yeah.
And so I was like, are they gonna beat her? But she showed her like being the vet of composure, keeping your hands on, not letting each round get to her. She stayed even keel, and that's why she
didn't have to finish last. That's the only. Don't be last.
And that's why she won as many competitions, because that is a difficult thing to do.
I think you have this trait. Casey has it. It is so stressful in those competitions. Like, I'm someone who played college baseball. I feel like I'm good under pressure. But when I was in that house and millions of people are watching you, there were times where I would make a dumb move, not to make this about 16, but you'll probably remember this. We had the rolling dice competition. I'm testing your memory here.
Mm-hmm.
And I had memorized all the patterns. And if you remember, I was up against Devin. I rolled it all the way. All I had to do was roll up on the platform, and I got lost, and I was sitting there doing this thing.
Yeah.
And because I got flustered. I just completely lost myself. And there's some people like you and like Casey where you just block it all out. I mean, you play D1 soccer.
Yeah.
Some people just have it. It's not something you can teach. No matter how big the stage, you just perform. And she's like that. Think about the pressure she's under. They're putting her on this pedestal. This person's game is in their hands. And she walks in there, gets off, drives up from San Diego. She just drove up that morning. She didn't even, she was on standby every week until he used it. Rolls up there from San Diego, throws the plant costume on, and smokes them and leaves.
It was really badass, and not playing. So I said this when I talked about it during that week, but it was like she's been playing the challenge, so she's still kind of
she's in the groove. Yeah, she's conditioned.
But listen, I've never played the challenge, but those competitions are very like in the open. There's a lot of ways to get that nervous energy out over the length of the competition.
Yep.
Big Brothers competitions aren't like that. You're in like a tight area and it's very quick. It's like milliseconds to make that split second decision that I got to adjust my finger. Oh, I pulled my finger off the button. It's like, it is so hard to get thrown into that pressure cooker with everything that you just mentioned on the line and still succeed. Kudos.
It was impressive, dude. It was like the perfect narrative, because if it didn't work, it would have sucked. Like, imagine if she put her finger off first. Like, she's out. Like,
it was utterly badass. I thought it solidified her legacy as a beast to just get thrown in the mix and win the competition.
I got this.
Like,
don't worry, Keanu. I got you covered.
It
was good. So far, good. B+. Could be an A-. I want to leave some room. I want to see some drama. I want to see some dissension. I want to see some call-outs. I want to see some comp wins that are, a lot on the line. But overall, I like the characters. I like the cast. They're playing the game. And there's a little bit of something for everyone. But a lot of season to go. This season, we've seen it before. Some start off strong and go through the floor. Some start off a little slow. And they're some of the greatest seasons ever. So we'll see. I
think the blockbuster is going to always leave that element of surprise and shake it up, because having to nominate 3 people as the numbers go down, it's like there's a lot of people that have been nominated each week, and like each time one of those people go home, like Amy, Adrian, you're going to start seeing new people get nominated. So I'm excited to see that get shaken up, and I think we're going to see that this week. There's going to be new people on the block that haven't been up there. Yeah. So I'm excited for it.
I'm excited too. Are you excited to edit this episode? That's the one negative to having a partner on with you.
Well, listen, at the end of the day, I don't have to worry too much about it, because we're pretty good at like holding and not. The only thing I got to go, I wrote a couple times in here because I heard the dog barking, so I'm like, all right, I gotta go. But
you got two double screen. Well, you'll do the double screen, but it's easier when it's just you. Boom, hanging out.
Well, the thing is that like there was that one period, right, when it came to the editing where we went through that whole thing that you showed me how to do, where it was like the double, the single, the double, the single. That's not happening.
It's double.
It's double.
It's double. Hey,
you're gonna see the two of us the entire time. Now, if you guys want to go see, listen. If anybody out there is willing to do that type of editing, I use Final Cut.
Oh, you're going to have people. There's some creative people who take clips from the show. I guarantee you're going to have some editors reach out who are willing to work with you to get their name out there and get some credit in the comments.
So if you guys, sometimes I just like the duo side by side, because it allows us to just kind of, you get to see every reaction, or maybe I'm just lazy. Anyways, if you haven't done so already and you've made it to this point, remember, put that pizza slice in the comments. If you haven't, subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications, leave a 5-star review on all podcast platforms. Derrick, I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man.
Schedule joining on, brother. And as always, I appreciate all of you joining the Winners Circle for this episode. We'll see you next time.